We'll call the meeting to order at 6:21. We would like to begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Iwamaka and Sealy people. We'll adopt the minutes. So the recommendation is that the minutes of the Recreational Advisory Committee held on January 9th, 2025 be adopted. So Lisa. And there's no general matters or unfinished business. Oh, the vote. Sorry. Is everybody in favor? So yeah, we will go on to new business, and that is the review of the pickleball club lease that everybody's been provided. So the intent is for us to review the lease and make recommendations for proposed changes prior to consideration of renewal of the lease by council. It's oops, wrong button. It's been a little while.
Thank you, Chair. This would be to Mr. Zackel. If we go on to the second page, number 4, it refers to the purposes of pickleball and lawn bowling. And then if we go down to F, it says the leasing shall grant storage of the lawn bowling equipment inside the storage room. Do we really need to have the lawn bowling reference in there any longer? Because really there is no lawn bowling there anymore. Should that be taken out of the lease?
Thank you, Worship, through the chair. Yes, we can get that out. Lawn bowling is no longer a viable entity at that location.
Okay, thank you. I guess just a follow-up. So is there still lawn bowling equipment being stored there, or is that gone?
Currently, there is some lawn bowling bowls that are still there, that I know of for sure. Joe Geo and that have expressed interest that they can be donated to other clubs, to other people. So we're in the process of looking for other clubs that, would like it. We're going to be talking to the school district to see if they want to have some, maybe do on school fields or so. And then,
So will that give much room back for storage in there, or is it minimal?
it'll give a decent amount. All it would be. It's just better storage area.
Okay, thank you.
I know last time we discussed this, there was talks of how much the area costs the city per year. Was that ever discussed, like the maintenance that they do, like versus what the city pays for and what the pickleball club pays for? Know how much time like gets spent there? Is that something that we know? Dave?
Through the chair. Extra costs that the city ensues. One is written in here under maintenance 7A would be like the sprinkler system. So that building itself has a sprinkler system that has to be annually checked every year by a certified inspector. So that is actual cost that the city in this contract ensues. If that's something that you would want to move forward, that the pickle club would have to ensue that cost and not taxpayers, that'd be your privy. We also have expenses that the city incurs, like the security system there. City currently pays for that. We have monthly inspections that we do of the facility. That's our maintenance that goes in there and checks the building monthly. That's a cost to the city. And then in the usage, we don't have anything in section 6 regarding building temperatures and what they maintained at. So we had a issue this year where the temperature got 20 below and it was turned a bit too low. So we went and moderated the temperature in the building, communicated with pickleball. They were awesome with it. But there's just nothing in the agreement that says that they should maintain a certain temperature according to cool weather, because we can't have infrastructure freezing up and so on. But they did work with us and communicated very well with us.
And that means they pay for the hydro. I would assume that was why that happened.
Yes, they did pay for hydro. Yeah.
Josh.
I was going to talk that the pickleball club, from my understanding, was very adamant on that, but Dave covered that. So okay.
Lisa.
Just wanting to clarify that there was room for the community to use that, that facility still. It wasn't strictly going to be just pickleball. I believe we had a conversation about that quite some time ago around, would there be space for community members to go in and utilize that? And then that makes me kind of think about a little bit of who's going to take on what responsibility if it's going to be a bit of a shared facility for community.
To answer through the chair, in the lease agreement, pickleball has the authority to rent out the space. So if community groups want to use it, they rent the space out to those groups. They have to notify the city of any group they lease, they rent to. So we are aware of what's going on in that facility, but they control the building.
Thank you, Chair. To Mr. Zackel, the surface and where the lawn bowling was. Have we talked about plans on what we plan on doing with that in the future, or is that something to come as we move along? Or I'm just wondering, have we got any kind of concrete plans on that?
To your worship, through the chair, no concrete plans as of yet, but I know the pickleball has expressed some interest in wanting to put more pickleball courts there with a coverage shell over it so they could utilize the winter season. I know we are currently in the process of looking for locations for our tennis club as well. And you know, might be a viable location in that area of the park.
So just a quick rebuttal. I noticed through the costs, we've got the gym rental. I'm assuming that is for winter play.
That's my assumption. That's for winter play at the school gyms.
Okay.
So that's a cost that they pay the school district for use of the gyms.
Okay, I was just wondering, so that would be a savings to them if we could get that area covered at some point. I guess we'd have to find out what the covering cost.
Heat and heat. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I just was wondering. Thank you.
And the space that is still there, my understanding is it's still half lawn bowling, half pickleball, right?
To answer that question to the chair, right now it's not lawn bowling.
Okay.
The sprinklers have been deactivated. It's not being used at that location yet. So we are looking for a viable use of that space now.
And this lease doesn't cover that space if the idea was.
It covers
to put
that lot. So it's
Oh.
that space is part of that
does.
lot. If we wanted to expand the club, say, for example, if we wanted to put more into it, then we could expand the lot and possibly maybe request council to open up Naquala to us. So.
Thank you. So I noticed that we, because of the lease, we require 16 hours a week from May to October for public play. Do we get a lot of that happening? Or do we get out of towners coming to use that?
To your worship, through the chair, we get some, yes, we get some recreational people that have come into town that do some camping, that play pickleball. The pickleball club is growing, as we know. They are reaching out to the youth, trying to expand the club for sure. At this time last year, the public hours were monitored by the club, but going forward, we've came to an agreement that they're gonna put a sign up, and then we are gonna open and close the doors to the pickleball courts on the weekend, and that'll be given our public 16 hours of free access to that public land. And that'll be just to the courts, not to the building. The building is not that portion of it.
I'm just looking at their budget for 2025 here and going through, it doesn't look like they have a lot of room to increase the lease based on the numbers that are put forward and based on 2024. As you can see, it looks like they had a large rental, but if you read, there were rentals for the flood mitigations for that. So realistically, looking at their budget going forward, raising the lease is only gonna put the club into debt. No, I understand that, but I'm saying like, if you look at their budget for 2025, if we raised it, they're looking at making a net profit of $366.
Thank you, John. Josh, to your honor, yes, I do understand that, and it's a great thing. We do not want to subsidize, like, we don't want to penalize our groups by any means, but I just want to bring attention that they have a facility now that they can also rent out. So if we keep the fees too low, if we don't charge what we do, this building will need to be replaced in 25 years. If there's no money coming in from it, we're gonna have $0 in 25 years. If they have the opportunity to rent some space and create some revenue, that's a good thing. And, we support that. And, I just wanted to know what our infrastructure does have to get replaced after time.
Is there a reason, just to follow up on that the building went to them, like the meeting area, the sublease that's marked, the green area? Is there a reason why that was included in the lease, or, because it used to be ran by the city, right? If you wanted to rent out that building, you went to the city. It's similar to the Civic Center, right?
Yeah, so this lease was agreed with that facility being part of the rental of the courts. So
And
that,
is that important to the group?
I believe it would be very valuable to the group. They have storage there, they have their meetings there. It creates them a rental space as well, so they can lower their costs and their fees by the more the revenue they can create.
For sure, yeah.
Then obviously their fees can stay low, but the same vice versa. If we're giving them the opportunity on our property to create revenue, shouldn't the city be able to get paid for something? I mean, the school district's being paid. Can we come to an agreement with the school district to lower that? Maybe like I say, those are things we definitely talk to, but
Yeah, I think even getting the word out that you can rent this through the pickleball club would be big for the club. Like, we used to rent this all the time to the city.
yeah, an advertising space. I mean, we could definitely talk with Pickleball Club and put it on the city websites. That's not a problem. Helping them in that fashion. We would be in full support of that.
Do you have anything else to say for that? A decision's not being made, right? We're just discussing, correct? I think it's just. Yes.
Through you, your chair. Absolutely, if you want to, the pickleball lease is put before this committee for the purpose of making recommendations for any proposed changes or any suggestions for updates to it back to council, and the council can consider that as part of their decision-making process.
I do agree with Dave about the building being a big asset. I think the lease to $1, if the building wasn't included, would be totally fair, but that building there is it's a building that the city should be making some revenue off, of, right? In my opinion.
So I guess my question to the chair and the group is, what do we want that to look like? Or do you want some time to think about it? Because I mean, the lease isn't up until December of this year, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, 2026. So, I mean, this is the first look at it. I mean, I would, just for myself, I would suggest maybe taking this home and going over it for a little while, see what perks your interest and what doesn't. Maybe get some input from some of the pickleball players, see how they feel about it. And I'm myself, I'd be making a motion just to accept this as information and before we make any drastic moves on it.
Any seconders to that motion?
Sure.
Yeah. Everybody in favor of that? Okay. To speak to things not on the agenda.
To be honest with you, no.
Nope.
Nope. Sorry. I think I know what, we can have how about we have a conversation after the meeting?
Okay.
Because I think there's some news you need to know, but the answer would be no on that.
Okay.
So,
So I guess we discuss the next meeting. That's it, right?
Yep.
We're done. Set a date for that. Oh, Lisa, sorry.
Are we allowed to add items for the next meeting then?
sure.
I don't know. I tried to add items last week and was told no, so.
But I mean, like today, I feel like it might be, is it appropriate to, today we can add items because we have enough
Sure.
time, or is there?
We're allowed to add to the next meeting, are we not?
Typically, what happens with a committee is that items are referred to a committee for consideration, such as the pickleball lease was an item that council considered, and they referred it to the committee to request the committee to report back to them on this item. That is the way that committees usually work, is that it's council that drives the work plan for the committee.
Okay.
Okay.
We can discuss.
Sounds good.
We need to set a date for the next meeting. I don't have my, I didn't even bring my phone, so I don't even have a calendar. 3 months from now, yeah. That's what we've been doing, yeah. July. I don't do holidays. Pardon? Yeah, no, I don't, I have no objections, yeah. We can do it earlier. 2 weeks from now. Sure, that's fine for me. Thursday, yeah. It should be Thursday. Then. Sure, let's do that, May 29th at 6:15. Great. We got that done. We need a motion to adjourn the meeting? Nope. Oh, I just get to do it. Meeting adjourned.